In the dim monitoring office, 12 screens glow with grainy infrared images of sleeping elderly clients. The sterile silence of the room is broken only by the soft hum of the monitors. I sip black coffee, my gaze sharp as I scan each screen for any flicker of distress. The weight of responsibility settles heavily in the quiet, watchful night. The monitor glows, casting an eerie light on client number 0417, a man in his late 30s, lying still in bed. His thin frame is unnaturally composed, arms folded neatly across his chest. His eyes are shut, giving no hint of the dreams or nightmares playing out behind them. The feed continues, an unchanging tableau of quiet observation and unseen depths. Silence fills the monitoring office, broken only by the hum of machines and the weight of anticipation. In the dim monitoring office, hours drift by, the screens casting an eerie glow on silent watchers. A chilling stillness emanates from client number 0417 as the hours pass, his figure unmoving on the screen. Zooming in, the camera finds his chest rising and falling, each breath slow, too deliberate, unsettlingly controlled. An unnatural rhythm marks his breathing, a silent question lingering in the air. What is he hiding? In the dim monitoring office, the clock ticks. The observer watches client number 0417 on the screen. Same position as before. A haunting echo of routine in the dead of night. Reviewing the timestamp history, each second is a stark reminder of stillness. The screen reveals a chilling truth. No movement since 10:14 p.m. An unsettling quiet pervades, broken only by the hum of surveillance equipment. The clock glows 3 a.m. in the dim monitoring office, a silent sentinel of the late hour. My gaze is locked on client number 0417's feed. Every flicker and shadow magnified in the stark light. In his room, the shadows deepen, clinging to the corners as if alive with secrets. An unsettling stillness permeates the air, a silent vigil over the unseen. A cold digital clock reads 3:27 a.m. on the feed screen. Client number 0417's eyes jolt open, piercing the darkness. His gaze locks directly onto the surveillance camera, an unsettling intensity in his eyes. A wave of unease washes over the observer, a silent acknowledgement of being watched. The room falls deathly quiet, broken only by the hum of electronics. The observer freezes, caught in the client's unnerving stare. In the dim monitoring office, the feed screen flickers with client number 0417's image. His lips move with deliberate slowness, struggling to form words. I lean closer, drawn in by the silent plea, my heart pounding in anticipation. Each syllable seems stretched, weighted with unspoken meaning. The air crackles with tension as I strain to decipher the message. I try to read the words, a silent scream trapped behind glass. In the dim monitoring office, the feed screen flickers with an ominous glow. Static clears, revealing chilling words. I know. The message hangs in the digital void, an unspoken threat made real. A sudden, sharp chill races down my spine. The air grows heavy, each breath a reminder of unseen eyes. Paranoia tightens its grip as the screen reflects fear back at me. Inside the sterile monitoring office, I prepare to report an incident. The cold fluorescent lights hum, casting long shadows across the banks of screens. I speak into the comm, relaying the details with professional detachment. Supervisor's voice crackles through the speaker, dismissive and uncaring. Unless he sits up or stops breathing, it's not an incident. A wave of frustration washes over me, unseen in the stark office. Inside the dim monitoring office, the third night unfolds. A silent vigil begins. The screen illuminates the room, a singular focus on client number 0417. Other feeds blur into insignificance, all attention directed at the one screen. The night deepens, the glow of the monitor, the only light in the room. An intense focus, a digital observer watches, waits, and hopes for a break. The monitoring office hums quietly, screens reflecting in the darkened room. On the feed screen, client number 0417 lies still, an unchanging tableau of quietude. Motionless, the figure dominates the monitor, a study in stillness. The scene repeats, an endless loop of inert observation, devoid of change. A silent vigil unfolds, the screen a window into unwavering calm. Client number 0417 remains prone, a static presence in the digital ether. The monitoring office glows with the cold light of the screen, the silence amplifying the weight of the late hour. 1:58 a.m. On the monitor, a vital sign, a heartbeat waveform, slows its dance, each moment stretching into an eternity of suspense. Minutes crawl by, each tick of the clock echoing in the tense atmosphere. As the digital display shifts to 2:03 a.m., the waveform falters, its rhythm fading into a near standstill, a visual metaphor for life hanging in the balance. A flat line emerges, an unbroken green streak against the dark, a stark declaration of finality in the silent room. Inside the dimly lit monitoring office, a palpable tension hangs in the air. My fingers tremble over the emergency protocol, each second stretching into an eternity. The weight of responsibility crushes me as I prepare to make a fateful decision. My heart pounds in my throat, the silence amplifying the gravity of the moment. The monitoring office hums quietly, screens glowing in the dark. On the feed screen, client number 0417's image flickers, a digital ghost in the night. My finger hovers over the call button, a moment of poised anticipation. Suddenly, client number 0417 inhales sharply, a visible shudder rippling through them. The deep breath fills the silent room with unspoken tension. The shudder hints at a deeper struggle, unseen and unheard, yet profoundly felt. Eyes snap open, locking onto the cold, watchful camera lens. A newfound precision hardens his gaze, a silent promise in the stark light. His lips move again, forming words unseen, unheard, yet undeniably there. The monitoring office holds its breath, the feed screen reflecting an awakening. In the dim monitoring office, a bank of screens casts long shadows, each a window into unseen worlds. Static crackles on one screen, a silent scream in the digital void. A grainy, black and white feed flickers, hinting at secrets hidden in the darkness. A lone figure is silhouetted against the monitors, drawn to the flickering light like a moth to a flame. He leans in, his eyes searching the screen for a sign, a clue, something that others have missed. From the feed, a distorted voice whispers, "You're watching the wrong part," a chilling message from the ether. The monitoring feed flickers, a momentary glitch disrupting the silent observation. Client number 0417 appears on screen, a smile playing on his lips, a subtle shift in his demeanor. His eyes dart, betraying a hidden curiosity, a silent invitation to what lies beyond the lens. The smile widens, almost conspiratorial, hinting at a secret known only to him. Tension hangs heavy in the air, the silent feed amplifying the mystery of his unseen focus. On the feed screen, an anomaly lurks in the corner, its very existence a stark defiance of expectation. Shadows cling to it like secrets, obscuring its true form, yet its presence is undeniable. It stands as a silent intrusion, a foreign element disrupting the mundane familiarity of the monitoring office. The anomaly radiates an unsettling aura, casting a pall over the room. Its stillness is deceptive, hinting at a dormant power waiting to be unleashed. Inside the sterile monitoring office, a silent resignation hangs in the air, heavy with unspoken farewells. No report filed, no goodbyes exchanged, just an empty chair, a void where dedication once resided. The monitors flicker, indifferent to the quiet rebellion unfolding. The hum of machinery drones on, oblivious to the life, quietly slipping away from its grasp. In the dead of night, I toss and turn, a prisoner in my own bed, sleep a distant shore. The spectral image of client number 0417 flickers in the darkness, a haunting echo in my mind. A sinister figure lurks in the corner of my memory, its presence casting a long, cold shadow. I clutch the covers, seeking warmth, but an icy chill seeps through, clinging to my bones. Each breath is a struggle against the suffocating dread, the weight of unseen eyes upon me. The night stretches on, an endless expanse of fear and isolation, with no escape in sight. In the dim apartment, shadows dance with unspoken fears. A silent mantra echoes in the stillness: if I don't look, it can't look back. The words hang heavy, a fragile shield against the unseen, but the darkness whispers, daring a glance, a break in resolve. Sunlight slices through dusty blinds, illuminating an apartment still draped in the shadows of a long night. I jolt awake, disoriented, the weight of 14 hours clinging to my limbs. My phone lies face down on the floor, a silent accusation in the morning light. A sense of unease settles in. It's definitely not where I left it last night. The room feels alien, the air thick with unanswered questions. In the dim light, I stare at my phone, a knot of unease tightening in my chest. The call log glows, each missed call a silent alarm. 3 from a blocked number. All 3 calls, a relentless, unseen presence, arrive between 3:26 and 3:28 a.m. My pulse quickens as I imagine the darkness from which they came, a faceless threat. The unanswered calls linger, a chilling reminder that someone is watching, waiting. Sunlight streams into the apartment as I attempt to reclaim normalcy, my movements mechanical and detached. The TV flickers to life, its noise a hollow attempt to fill the silence, yet my mind remains elsewhere. Each reflective surface windows, mirrors, becomes a haunting reminder, showing me what I wish to forget. I pause, broom in hand, my gaze drawn to my own reflection. A stranger staring back with haunted eyes. The apartment, once a sanctuary, now feels like a labyrinth of mirrors, each reflecting a fragment of my broken self. Daylight streams into the apartment, illuminating everyday surfaces. A figure glances at a mirror, a flicker of unease in their eyes. The microwave door reflects a distorted view of the room, catching a furtive glance. The TV screen goes dark, a silent, watchful eye in the room. Paranoia grows with each reflection, each surface a potential window for unseen eyes. I drift in slumber, lost in a dream of silent surveillance. Video feeds flicker, empty bedrooms, endless hallways, bleak corners. A dull, gray infrared glow paints the scene, cold and sterile. The silence amplifies the emptiness, a haunting void in the digital ether. An apartment stands stark and silent, bathed in the ethereal glow of a dream. Empty rooms echo with untold stories, their emptiness amplifying the dream's surreal quality. A digital timestamp flickers, its numbers ascending, counting upwards into the unknown. The relentless count marks the passage of time in this dreamscape, a haunting measure of moments. Each empty room whispers secrets, the silence broken only by the climbing numbers. The apartment, a stage for the subconscious, unfolds as time marches inexorably forward. Gasping, I bolt awake at 3:27 a.m., a cold dread gripping me in the darkness. The digital clock on my nightstand is dead, a silent sentinel in the suffocating black. Frantically, I try to rouse my phone, but the screen remains stubbornly blank. A chilling realization dawns. I'm utterly cut off, swallowed by the night's silence. A chilling sensation permeates the apartment, a feeling of being watched not from above, but from the shadows. An unseen presence lurks, its gaze a palpable weight pressing down on the room. The corner of the room seems to pulse with an unseen energy, the focal point of the haunting surveillance. Paranoia claws at the edges of the mind, each shadow a potential hiding place for the unseen watcher. The air grows heavy with dread, the corner a silent promise of something sinister observing every move. In the quiet apartment, darkness envelops the room. Eyes remain shut. A sanctuary against unseen turmoil. Breathing slows to a deliberate rhythm, each inhale a conscious act. Exhale follows, a measured release into the silent night. Counting each breath, seeking solace in the simple act of being. The apartment settles into an unnatural stillness, a silent shift as if the very walls are holding their breath. An imperceptible recalibration fills the space, a sense of unease permeating the air. Shadows lengthen and twist, as if the room itself is realizing it stands in the wrong place. A subtle distortion of reality bends the light, highlighting the growing tension. The air crackles with unseen energy, the room poised on the brink of a profound change. A sense of unseen presence looms, lurking just beyond perception. An unnerving sensation creeps into the periphery, unnoticed yet profoundly felt. It slithers into the blind spot of vision, a chilling awareness taking hold. Right where the camera would go, an invisible observer silently watches. The air thickens with unspoken dread, the apartment now a stage for unseen eyes. My eyes snap open, greeted by the familiar darkness of my apartment. The room is eerily normal, shadows clinging to the corners with unnatural stillness. Each object sits in its place, a deceptive calm, masking an underlying tension. An unsettling quiet hangs in the air, amplifying the strangeness of the scene. A sense of unease settles in, a premonition that something is deeply wrong. The ordinary is now sinister, the mundane twisted into something menacing. In the dead of night, silence blankets the apartment, heavy and expectant. A slow, deliberate turn of the head begins, drawn by an unseen force. Eyes strain in the dim light, peering into the deepest corner of the room. Anticipation hangs thick, each shadow a potential harbinger of the unknown. The corner remains empty, a stark void where fear had painted a phantom. Relief washes over, but the lingering unease hints at horrors yet unseen. The car glides past the silent monitoring office under a watchful sky. Sunlight glints off the windows, reflecting an eerie stillness. The asphalt of the parking lot bakes, devoid of any life. An unsettling calm hangs in the air, amplifying the emptiness. Across the street, I park, the engine idling softly as I reach for my phone. The screen illuminates my face, casting a pale glow in the daylight. I check for missed calls, my thumb swiping across the glass. The silence is deafening. No messages, no urgent alerts break the calm. A sense of unease settles in, the quiet more disturbing than any noise. My eyes scan the monitoring office, a silent question hanging in the air. Sunlight bathes the monitoring office's front door, casting long shadows that hint at secrets within. A stark white paper, taped haphazardly, declares, "Temporarily closed due to internal review." The words, "temporarily closed," seem to mock the silence of the deserted office. The phrase "internal review" hangs heavy, suggesting hidden investigations and unseen turmoil. The mundane notice stands in stark contrast to the gravity of the situation. The closed office exudes an ominous calm, hinting at the storm brewing beneath the surface. Dim light spills from the laptop, illuminating a figure hunched over the keyboard, lost in shadows. Silence shatters as a sudden ping echoes, announcing an unexpected email, a digital whisper in the lonely night. Eyes dart to the screen, drawn to the cryptic message. No sender, no subject, only a single, ominous image. Tension hangs heavy in the air, each pixel of the screen a potential harbinger of revelation or dread. The attached image pulses with untold secrets, promising to unravel the solitude and plunge the figure into the unknown. A grainy, infrared live feed flickers, revealing the stark outline of a familiar apartment bedroom in the dead of night. Despite the poor quality, the room's layout is undeniably recognizable, each shadow a haunting echo of the past. The infrared light casts an eerie glow on the familiar shapes, turning the mundane into something spectral and unsettling. Every detail, though blurred and indistinct, speaks volumes, painting a vivid picture of silent dread. A familiar bedroom emerges into view, bathed in the soft glow of a bedside lamp, triggering a wave of memories. Though the perspective is skewed, an undeniable sense of belonging permeates the space. The room feels both intimately known and strangely distant, seen through a veil of time and emotion. Every detail, from the worn furniture to the faded posters, whispers stories of a life once lived within these walls. Stillness blankets the room. A figure lies supine, eyes shut, arms crossed in the quiet dark. In the corner, a digital clock glows with cold light, starkly displaying the hour, 3:26 a.m. The room is filled with the heavy silence of the early morning. The soft rise and fall of the chest is the only movement. The world outside is still and quiet. The mind is active, even in the dark. In the dim apartment, the glow of a computer screen illuminates a lone figure. Eyes dart across the screen, analyzing the details of a digital file. The file details sharpen into focus, revealing a startling anomaly. A voice whispers from the void, "Created. Tomorrow's date." Confusion deepens into unease as the implications sink in. A chill permeates the room, the future suddenly uncertain. Bathed in the harsh glare of every light, I sit, a statue on my couch, eyes fixed on the apartment walls. Anxiety hangs heavy in the air as I anticipate the creeping unease, the subtle wrongness of the room. Every shadow seems to lengthen. Every corner holds a silent threat as the night deepens its hold. The oppressive silence amplifies the dread, making each breath a conscious effort against the encroaching fear. I brace myself, waiting for the moment when the familiar terror consumes me, turning my sanctuary into a prison. Dawn breaks, painting the room with a soft, ethereal glow as exhaustion claims its victim. At 5 a.m., the battle against sleep is lost, and a heavy weight pulls the head downward. Vision blurs, the room dissolving into a hazy dreamscape, a temporary escape from reality. For a fleeting moment, the world fades, leaving only the soft edges of consciousness. The brief respite ends, and the room sharpens back into focus, the struggle to stay awake renewed. Dawn streaks through the window, illuminating the silent apartment as I stand motionless, facing the corner. A palpable sense of heaviness weighs me down, each movement sluggish and strained in the dim light. The quiet of the room amplifies the feeling of being trapped within my own body. The stillness of dawn mirrors the stagnation I feel, a heavy prelude to the day. Pale dawn light paints stripes across a disheveled apartment, highlighting the chaos within. I stand frozen, knuckles white, as I grip the cold kitchen counter, a silent scream trapped in my throat. Memory flickers, a broken film reel. I can't recall moving, standing only the crushing weight of now. My vision blurs at the edges. A dull ache pulses behind my eyes, a relentless drumbeat of despair. The apartment is still, save for the soft hum of the refrigerator, a lonely mechanical heart. I stare down at my trembling hands, the only tangible proof of my existence in this silent hell. Dawn breaks, painting the apartment in a soft, ethereal light. A phone vibrates urgently, breaking the morning's calm. The screen illuminates, revealing a message from an unknown sender. The text glows ominously, devoid of any identifying information. Each word pulses with silent anticipation, promising revelation. A sense of foreboding fills the room, heavy and inescapable. Pale dawn light streams through the blinds, casting long shadows across the silent apartment, illuminating dust. The air hangs heavy with stillness, amplifying the quiet solitude of the room. A phone rests on a table, its screen glowing with a cryptic message. The screen reads, "You're doing better." An unsettling implication hangs in the air as the message continues. "You've stopped moving." The apartment remains silent, the message echoing with unanswered questions. Dawn paints the apartment in soft hues. As I try to retreat, my body frozen, refusing to obey my will. Each breath becomes a conscious act, slow and measured, a desperate attempt to regain control. The air hangs heavy, charged with unspoken tension, as the first rays of light illuminate my paralyzed form. A silent battle rages within, my mind screaming for escape while my limbs remain stubbornly still. The world shrinks, focusing on the simple act of breathing, each inhale and exhale a victory against the encroaching fear. Dawn breaks, sunlight piercing through blinds, painting stripes across the silent apartment, each ray a stroke of gold. Dust motes swirl and twirl in the sunbeams, their dance a silent ballet in the stillness of the morning. Golden light illuminates every corner, revealing secrets hidden in shadows, whispers of stories untold. A voice echoes, a chilling revelation in the soft morning light. I understand. The job was never about watching. It was about teaching us how to be watched, the voice concludes, leaving a haunting silence in the sun-drenched room. Sudden darkness. Knees buckle, and the cold floor rushes up to meet them. A disoriented awakening on the hard floor, the first light of dawn painting the room. Pale light filters through the curtains, illuminating the disarray of the room. A slow, painful rise from the floor, each movement a reminder of the fall. The new day begins with a silent struggle, a battle fought in the quiet of the morning. Sunlight floods the empty apartment, illuminating bare walls and echoing silence. The camera slowly pans across the sterile space, searching for a sign of life. High up, where wall meets ceiling, 4 small scratches mar the surface. Aligned perfectly, they resemble mounting brackets, a forgotten purpose. A lingering sense of mystery hangs in the air, a silent question in the light. The scratches hint at a hidden story, a past resident, a life unseen. Inside the brightly lit apartment, I sit alone on the couch, a sense of unease washing over me. The phone charges, a silent sentinel in the stillness, while my gaze is drawn to the shadows. An inexplicable feeling of being watched intensifies, prickling my skin. My eyes fixate on the corner of the room, searching for a presence that isn't there. The silence amplifies the sensation, making the empty space feel menacing. Paranoia grips me as I question the source of this unseen, unsettling gaze. Inside the quiet apartment, a book lies open, but the words blur, failing to capture the reader's distracted mind. An unsettling sensation creeps in, the feeling of unseen eyes watching, intensifying the solitude. Every shadow seems to lengthen and twist, playing tricks on the eye and fueling the growing unease. The apartment, once a haven, now feels like a stage set for an unseen drama, filled with silent suspense. In the dead of night, a lone figure meticulously inspects every reflective surface within the confines of the apartment. Each mirror, each window, scrutinized for the slightest anomaly, the barest hint of movement. A desperate search for any distortion, any telltale sign betraying an unseen presence. The silence is deafening, amplifying the palpable tension as the search intensifies. In the dimly lit apartment, I begin to pace, a monologue of self-reassurance bubbling to the surface. My hands wring each other, a silent scream against the encroaching dread. It's all in my head. It's all in my head. The words echo, hollow and unconvincing. Silence answers, amplifying the fear that claws at the edges of my sanity. Dim light barely illuminates the stark apartment, shadows twisting ominously across the walls. A sudden, overwhelming urge surges within, a frantic need to destroy every mirror and screen. The urge to obliterate every reflective surface, a desperate attempt to escape unseen eyes. Hands clench into fists, trembling with a frantic energy, ready to shatter and break. Each reflective surface seems to mock, fueling the desperate need to eliminate any chance of scrutiny. Silence blankets the dim apartment, the air heavy with unspoken thoughts. Hands clench and unclench, a silent battle against an inner impulse. A primal urge claws at my throat, threatening to shatter the fragile calm. I resist, knowing surrender will only deepen the sense of isolation. The apartment looms, heavy with unspoken burdens. A decision hardens: escape the oppressive air, seek solace. Each step is a silent rebellion against the suffocating walls. The door swings open, a promise of freedom in the night, leaving behind shadows, venturing into the unknown. A breath of fresh air, a moment of respite found. Under the cloak of night, the city street teems with life, a river of faces flowing around me. Yet I remain adrift. The neon glow paints the scene with a false vibrancy, highlighting the stark contrast of my solitary state. Each passerby is a fleeting glimpse of connection, quickly lost in the anonymity of the urban sprawl. The sounds of the city laughter, horns, distant sirens create a symphony of isolation. I walk on, a ghost in the machine, unseen and untouched by the bustling world around me. Exposed and vulnerable under the city's gaze, the weight of solitude presses in. The night cloaks the city street, lights blurring in the rain-slicked asphalt, reflecting the city's lonely heart. A figure pauses, catching their reflection in a darkened store window, a fleeting moment of self-awareness. In the glass, a phantom appears behind them, a silent specter in the city's bustling solitude. They whirl around, but the street is empty. The specter vanished, leaving only the echo of unease in the night. Night envelops the city street, each step echoing in the growing dread. I quicken my pace, the feeling of pursuit intensifying with each hurried breath. The city lights blur as I try to outrun the unseen presence shadowing my every move. Paranoia tightens its grip, turning familiar streets into a labyrinth of fear. Every shadow seems to lengthen. Every sound amplifies the sense of being watched. Under the cloak of night, city streets glisten with an eerie sheen, reflecting the cold neon lights. A chilling realization dawns. There is no escape, no sanctuary from unseen eyes. Every shadow seems to hold a silent watcher, a constant reminder of inescapable surveillance. The weight of being perpetually observed crushes the spirit, leaving a sense of profound isolation. Each step forward is a step deeper into a gilded cage, where freedom is but a fading dream. The apartment looms, shadows stretching long in the dim light as I return, the day's burdens heavy on my shoulders. Silence descends, thick and heavy, pressing in from all sides. Each corner seems darker, more ominous than before. A sense of unease settles, chilling the air. The weight of unspoken words hangs in the air. I am alone with my thoughts, and they are not kind. In the dim apartment, I sit on the floor, a solitary figure consumed by stillness. My gaze is fixed, unblinking, lost in the shadows of a distant corner. A palpable sense of anticipation hangs in the air, thick with unspoken expectations. Each moment stretches into an eternity as I wait, suspended between hope and despair. The silence screams louder than any sound, amplifying the weight of my solitude. Night envelops the apartment. Time stretches, each moment echoing in the oppressive silence. Shadows lengthen, deepening the sense of anticipation and unease. The stillness is heavy, broken only by the faint hum of distant city life. A sense of foreboding permeates the air, hinting at unseen tensions. The quiet amplifies, making the apartment feel both empty and stifling. Each breath is a stark reminder of the palpable void. Dim city light paints stripes across the room. As I sit on the bed, the silence crushing. Chaotic thoughts swirl, a storm inside my head as exhaustion weighs down on me. I run a hand through my hair, the gesture heavy with fatigue and confusion. Am I imagining all of this? Is it just paranoia and stress? The question hangs in the air. In the dim apartment, shadows twist and writhe, mirroring the turmoil within. A palpable tension fills the space, a heavy blanket smothering every corner. I stand, a solitary figure, steeling myself for an unknown confrontation. Tonight, the haunting corner will be faced, its secrets dragged into the light. Imagination or reality, the lurking presence demands acknowledgement. With a pounding heart, I take a tentative step. The journey into fear begins. In the dim apartment, shadows dance as I move slowly, each step deliberate, toward the unseen corner. My heart pounds against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat echoing in the silent room. The air thickens with anticipation as I near the edge of the unknown. Each breath is measured, a fragile shield against the rising tide of fear. My senses sharpen, straining to catch any whisper, any hint of what lies ahead. The corner looms, a silent sentinel guarding its secrets, its darkness beckoning. I extend my hand, a silent connection forming as my fingers meet the wall's cold, smooth surface. The chill seeps into my skin, a stark reminder of the apartment's emptiness. Each touch echoes in the silence, amplifying the solitude. A wave of memories washes over me, each touch a ghost of moments past. The apartment is cloaked in silence, shadows deepening in every corner. Stillness pervades, broken only by the quiet hum of unseen appliances. An empty corner, untouched, waits in the dim light. The absence of activity defines the space, a void in the quiet night. In the dim apartment, a nervous laugh bubbles up, tinged with hysteria. The laughter grows, echoing in the confined space, each note laced with disbelief. A sudden realization dawns, casting a chilling shadow over the room. The laughter abruptly stops as the truth sinks in. A delusion, a figment. Emptiness fills the space where laughter once was, replaced by a haunting silence. Inside the dim apartment, a figure begins to turn, their silhouette framed by the doorway. The movement is sudden, a flicker at the edge of vision, drawing the eye to a darkened corner. A subtle shift in the shadows hints at something unseen, a presence lurking just beyond perception. The air grows heavy, charged with anticipation as the unseen presence stirs. Every sense is heightened, straining to capture the elusive source of the disturbance. The room holds its breath, a silent tableau of mounting tension and veiled mystery. Inside the apartment, a sudden dread fills the air as unseen eyes watch from the shadows. In a desperate whirl, I spin around, heart pounding, as the darkness around me seems to deepen, ready to strike. But it's too late. A presence lunges, unseen hands reaching out from the void. I gasp, caught in an inescapable grip as the unknown assailant seizes me from behind. Dragged helplessly, I'm pulled into the suffocating darkness, my struggles futile against the unseen force. The apartment fades as I'm swallowed by the night. Only the chilling unknown awaits. The screen fades to complete blackness, plunging the room into an abyss of shadows. In the inky darkness, 4 scratches on the wall begin to emerge, their presence subtly revealed. The faint gleam catches the light, illuminating the marks etched deep into the surface. Each scratch tells a silent story, a haunting reminder lingering in the stillness of the night.